Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Project PortsalMC Map Gaming Building Vlogs. Today, what we're going to be discussing is lore, new locations, and I think another goal is to discuss the number of quests and finally just say that I'm going to say this out loud. I have decided to go with 75 quests. Now, what will this entail for the future of the map? Not much really. The map's going to be completed on schedule. Should be completed on schedule. I should be completing it at latest. I should have everything done, said and done by next December. And I will be dropping the map around then. By then, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of updates between now and then, and I will be releasing a map monthly. And you'll be able to experiment and tinker around and just take a. If you really don't want to play the map, just set yourself into creative and be my guest. Go ham. Uh, Sort of explore the map in creative. Like that's also something that you can do in this map. Um, this map primarily features heavily um, hidden quest style of story progression, I would say. Um, and it has you looking around for quests. Now, right now, where we're headed is a cave that I discovered. Now, this isn't necessarily new, nor is it an area that I've really explored all that much and gone into too much detail about. This kind of has been in the background area and kind of ate. It's as if the world has been, well, has had a giant chunk taken out of it. And I mean that quite literally. This area, I really want to turn into like a abandoned dwarven stronghold of sorts. Now, this would be very close to relatively close to the island, so there wouldn't be that much need to prepare for a very long journey. However, there won't exactly be a way to get down here. This is the only natural entrance to this cave that I have found. And in terms of me building an actual staircase down here, that's going to be a pain, but I'm going to probably have to do it because there's going to be a lot of staircases navigating through this maze of I don't know what Mojang's terminology for this that's the right word terminology for this cave style is, but it's a deep dark. It leads into a deep dark, not into an ancient city. Unfortunately, I wish it did. That would have made quest number 2 a whole lot easier. Instead, the quest takes you about 5,000 or so blocks out, but I couldn't really. That's the closest ancient city that I could find. This is the deep dark. Now, for those who are new, this was added in the Caves and Cliffs update, I believe. And this adds the warden. Now you will be finding a lot of areas where wardens will spawn down here. This is very dangerous, not very forgiving. There is giant lava pools down here too. Um, I'm thinking of doing something with this too in tandem with the Dwarven-esque architecture, as if they had over time dug down too deep. Something along the lines of sort of a nod to J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, where with the Balrog and all that stuff. Only in this case, it wouldn't be a Balrog; it would be a Warden, and I'd have to create a whole bunch of lore for which I'd be excited to create because I haven't added anything new um, since the last progress update, which was a little bit ago, not that long ago. Um, Um, yeah, so I'm thinking about having it start up here if I am gonna go, because I really do want to do this sort of grandiose. I wouldn't be going over the top with it, but the area itself would encompass this sort of I would have to hollow out this middle empty area and have like, since there's a lot of these, these croppings going down below and leading down below. This is a massive. This is a massive one. Um, I'd have like buildings jutting out from these and having like, I don't know if I'm going for dwarven or for subterranean elf architecture. And I can't pick right now because it's just there's both are very tantalizing and sort of within reach. Um, because this is a phantom fantasy universe. I think um, from what I know from fantasy world building and from world building specifically, which I've done extensively, I have an extensive role play world which I created with a bunch of my friends. Um, so I have some experience with good world building. I haven't done it solo before, or I have done it solo, but I haven't done anything substantial or meaningful solo. As you can see, I may have areas which have collapsed down to the cave floor. I'm not gonna. My goal here is to have a minimal amount of effort. Minimal amount of effort with the highest, utmost quality put into it, and using the natural terrain to my advantage. Um, I'm definitely gonna have like to make giant mine like almost. I don't know, dwarvish clockwork stuff. There is obviously an abandoned mine shaft that I am going to be incorporating into the dwarven-esque architecture. Um, from what you've like, especially around this area, this abandoned mine shaft digs into Skulk, which is a nice storytelling element. There's Skulk centers down here, especially in this area, which I'm going to keep. They're naturally generated, so I'm not too. I'm what I'm saying, what I'm getting to, is the fact that I'm going to have a lot of work ahead of me in doing this, and this is going to be going into a brand new faction of the map in the lore. I've alluded to in the ages that there are various factions warring against one another, and then there was a massive uniting uh, effort to unite and basically a war effort. So I want to have something dwarvish, and I think that's going to be one of the first of the maybe five or so factions. There's obviously the witch faction, which survived barely, um, and I guess the largest composite faction would be Baba Yaga's faction, but they aren't too much of a threat, at least from the outset. But they are still considered enough of a threat that the player is going to have to be mighty well equipped to deal with that. Now, here are some other story elements that I'm going to be alluding to. I am going to be alluding to elves, specifically forest elves, tree elves. Um, Not elves as in the conventional holiday sense, but more elves as in the fantasy sense. I'm gonna have to be looking for a dark either not I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with dark oak or tall spruce biome for that specifically. I know of a few tall spruce biome locations already that I've explored a little bit in other exploration map versions that I've kind of tinkered around with looking for new uh locations to build and um And yeah, as you can see, I've been gone back and forth from the main island to here. This main island, all of this is finished, so I don't have to worry about woohoo. I don't have to worry about this anymore. At least I don't have to worry about it in the context. Obviously, I'm going to be doing maintenance to it from time to time because there's going to be issues such as villagers getting stuck during development when I'm traveling between places, and I've had issues with villagers getting stuck in the weirdest of places. Um, which now I think about it should be is not nothing too far fetched considering how dumb villager AI is. Um, kind of wish Mojang would make a better villager AI, but I think it works perfectly for the role. You don't want something too smart. You want to keep them dumb so we can do things like this. I know it's horrible to have them lined in these cells, but yeah. Now let's go into recent additions to the map and what's been actually added and what will be included in the next updates, which I think everyone is dying to know. So I've included, there's going to be at least 2 to 3 new locations, which will be included in the next update. One location is really run down, kind of not meant, it's kind of out of the way backwaters sort of location. But the other 2 locations that I've included are much better suited. There's obviously, I haven't done many changes to the questing system. In fact, the I don't think the primary focus to this was to add some new locations, which I've done and dealt with. There have been some bugs that I've squashed, um, some issues that I've fixed regarding villager pathfinding and things not obstructing villagers well enough to the point where villagers would navigate around them properly. And I fixed that issue, so now villagers won't get trapped and die, so you won't lose, say, a mending villager to a zombie horde because they haven't been able to find the path or been able to pathfind back to their locations. Now, some future things that I will be updating, and I have noticed, I will be eventually replacing all of this cobblestone and smooth and stone brick with deep slate. Same with this. I will eventually. I don't know when because this isn't very high on my priority list, but I will be eventually replacing this with deep slate. Same with the villager trading hall will be replaced with the more deep slate to match, and especially with this, I don't know if I might keep this for nostalgic purposes because even though there is deep slate crowning it, um, like I kind of don't know what I'm gonna do about that. This wall was actually one of the earliest constructs. It dates back to the time when this map was in its infancy. It wasn't even a map. It was originally this entire build started off as a base concept, Minecraft based concept, and kind of what spiraled out into this Minecraft map that you see and you're probably going to know and love when you play it because let me tell you, I loved working on this map and I still do love working on this map. This is my baby. It's almost like working on this map has been a combination of grueling hours and just a bunch of headaches, especially with these knucklehead villagers like Butcher Johnny, and then there are some which I have to change their name. I'm gonna keep their actual name, but Fisherman Leo, you are no longer you're a shepherd now, so I have to fix that. That's something that's again not high on my bug tracker. I don't have a physical bug tracker, but I do a lot of this stuff. I know when something's out of place, and I know when I have to fix it. Um, there's like issues like that I'm gonna be fixing, obviously. that's going to be fixed in time. That's not high on the bug tracker. What is high on the bug tracker is Baba Yaga, and the fact that I have decided that I want to have her be a part of a data pack. I'm not quite sure how data packs work, honestly. Um, like I've seen them used in other Minecraft scenarios, Minecraft maps, and alongside mods. But as for coding one myself, I don't quite know. I'm not very good at coding. In particular, like I can do HTML and that sort of. I understand. I have a base understanding of HTML, but um, as for JavaScript, I'm not quite sure where to start or where to begin. And I may end up hiring out some person to help me with that. So that would be the first step, I think, in doing something like that. There obviously is some bosses which I want to work on. Um, I want to include at least a few more bosses, maybe even. I've thought about for a while adding um, in a few Minecraft dungeon bosses. But for right now, just as you can see, it's also a new year. The new year just turned for me. Um, I'm recording this basically between now and New Year's. I know it's late. It's like 12 in the morning, and I probably should be in bed, but I kind of just didn't feel like sleeping, and I kind of felt like working on this little project. Um, Now I know what you may be thinking. Dwarven architecture. I'm going to go back to dwarven architecture for a minute before I end off the video. What will entail for that? What might it look like? Well, as you can see, I'm capable of building these monstrosities of buildings, um, multi-level buildings and such. Not so much. I'm thinking of having it be mostly scaled down version of classical dwarven architecture, something underground. Definitely as for forges and foundries, they're gonna have long since gone cold, so I am gonna be including them in the build. Um, I don't. I've done some similar forges and foundries. I think the only place I can think of is the refinery area for the netherite mines, which is just runs just below the netherite mines, I believe. So you should expect to see more stuff similar to that, like with lava, experimenting with lava and stuff. Um, but anyways, folks, that's gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed just listening and hearing me out. There is a lot that's going into this map, and I've put a lot of effort into this map that I normally don't do for things like this. I normally just say, okay, this is fine, this is done, okay. But I've gone through, bug tested this, meticulously tested everything. Every block placement in this map is completely intentional and has a reason behind it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have had a wonderful New Year's, and I hope you've had a um, just a wonderful 2022 and beginning of 2023. We should see a lot more going into this, and yeah. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See you, folks.